The alien fleet floated far from Earth, hidden in the cold dark between stars. Their ships were smooth and pale, shaped by logic and long tradition. They had come many times before to many worlds, and always the result was the same: weak resistance, fast victory, new resources. Earth was supposed to be no different. Commander Arel stood inside the main control chamber and studied the blue planet. Records moved across the air in front of him. Old data, broken signals, empty reports. Every record ended the same way. No return, no clear reason, no final message. Only silence. Arel did not like silence. Silence meant unknown things. Around him, the council observers spoke with calm voices. They believed humans were divided and emotional. The reports said humans fought among themselves and wasted strength on small conflicts. Such species never lasted long against organized forces. Arel listened, but his eyes stayed on Earth. The planet did not move to defend itself. No fleets rose to meet them. No warnings were sent. No threats were spoken. That troubled him. On Earth, far below the alien fleet, Jiho sat in a quiet room filled with old screens and newer machines. He watched the same space where the alien ships waited. His face showed no fear. Only Focus. Earth had seen visitors before. Some peaceful, some not. And every time, Earth learned Jiho touched a control panel and shared data across hidden lines. The message moved through systems buried under oceans, inside mountains, and among forgotten satellites. The message was simple. Wait. In another underground place, Daesu worked alone. His hands moved with care as he powered systems that had not been active for years. The machines looked old, patched together from different eras, but they were strong. Humans had learned that simple things were easier to repair in war. Above ground, cities continued their normal rhythm. People walked. Lights stayed on. News channels talked about weather and sports. No alarm sounded. The alien fleet watched this calm and misunderstood it. Scout Vico was the first to move. His ship separated from the fleet and drifted toward Earth orbit. Sensors scanned the planet again and again. Human satellites filled the space around Earth, but none reacted. None changed course. None sent warnings. Vico felt pride that he sent a report to Arel. Earth defenses appear inactive. No response detected. Arel read the message but did not relax. He ordered a deeper scan. Vico adjusted his instruments. That was when he noticed something strange. Some human signals disappeared when scanned directly. Others returned false shapes, like shadows behind shadows. It felt as if the planet was hiding its true structure. Vico reported this too, but the council dismissed it as weak technology interference. Arel did not dismiss it. On Earth, Yuna sat in a control tower watching space traffic. Her job was usually calm. Today, she followed a special routine. Civilian ships were guided along new paths. Old paths were left empty. From space, it looked like normal movement. Only those who knew the pattern could see the change. Yuna spoke softly into her system and confirmed all routes were clear. Below the surface, Hana checked medical bays. Supplies were counted. Lights were tested. Doors sealed and unsealed again. No one rushed. No one panicked. Earth had learned long ago that panic killed faster than weapons. Back in orbit, Vico launched a probe toward the planet. It passed through the upper air without trouble. No defense fire. No signal jamming. The probe sent back images of clouds and land. Then the signal ended. It did not fade. It did not break. It stopped as if cut clean. Vico froze. He tried to reconnect. Nothing. He tried another channel. Nothing. He reported the loss. This time, Silence filled the alien command chamber. Arel looked again at the old records. Each ended with silence. He ordered the fleet to hold position. The council protested. One probe meant nothing. Earth was still quiet, still passive. Arel ignored them. On Earth, Jiho watched the probe signal vanish. He allowed himself one slow breath. That probe had entered a zone where Earth tested threats without revealing itself. It was not destroyed by a weapon. It was absorbed, studied, and shut down. Earth did not strike first. Earth waited. The alien fleet stayed in orbit for many hours. They expected fear signals, emergency broadcasts, threats. None came. This calm began to work against them. Vico felt it first. The sense of being watched without seeing eyes. The sense that the planet below was not asleep, but listening. On Earth, children went to sleep. Trains ran. Oceans moved. Deep under the sea, old defense frames woke and tested their joints. High above, forgotten satellites adjusted position by a few degrees. Nothing obvious changed. Arel finally made his decision. He ordered preparation for limited entry. The council approved. Earth still said nothing. G. Ho received the update and passed it along. His message did not order attack. It ordered patience. Daisu activated the last hidden network and leaned back. Sweat marked his brow, but his face showed calm pride. Human systems were ready. The alien fleet moved closer. And Earth waited. From space. The blue planet looked peaceful and open. But beneath that calm surface, history waited to repeat itself. And once again, those who came to attack Earth did not yet understand why no one ever returned. The alien fleet moved closer to Earth in slow, careful steps. Engines stayed low and quiet. From a distance, it looked like drifting metal. Commander Arel watched the planet grow larger on the main view. He ordered tight control and limited action. No sudden moves. No loud signals. Scout Vico felt relief when the fleet followed a calm plan. The loss of the probe still troubled him. He kept scanning the space between ships and planet, searching for patterns. Human machines filled the area, yet none behaved as expected. Some old satellites seemed dead, but changed position by small amounts. Others sent weak noise that carried no clear meaning. Vico reported these changes. The council brushed them aside again. They said humans reused old tools and forgot them. They said human order was poor. Arel said nothing. On Earth, Jiho watched the fleet close in. His screens showed paths and probabilities. Nothing looked dangerous yet, but danger never announced itself. He sent short updates through the hidden network. Still no order to strike. Only prepare. Daisu checked power flow and smiled slightly. Systems from many years and many designs worked together. Some parts were paired by hand. Others were printed from simple metal. Nothing was elegant. Everything was useful. Above ground, people went to work. Streets stayed busy. The sky was clear in many cities. No alerts broke the routine. Humans did not look up. Yuna guided a long cargo ship past Earth orbit. She adjusted the path so it passed close to a quiet zone near the moon. To alien sensors, it looked like common traffic. To Earth systems, it marked a boundary. The alien fleet crossed that boundary without knowing it. Vico noticed a change in background noise. Space felt thicker, as if sound could exist there. He recalibrated his tools. Numbers shifted. Time readings lagged for a moment, then corrected. He reported again. This time, Arel ordered a pause. Small ships spread out and held position. Weapons stayed inactive. Sensors pushed deeper. The planet below stayed calm. Arel studied human history records, wars, disasters, recovery. Again and again, Humans adapted after loss. They did not rely on one solution. They kept many. Some old, some new. He began to see a pattern. The council pressed for action. They argued that delay showed weakness. Arel agreed to a limited test. A single landing craft detached from the fleet and headed down toward an empty region of land. No cities, no visible defenses. Just open ground and clouds. On Earth, Ji-Ho saw the craft break formation. He allowed the next step. Hidden systems shifted state. The landing craft entered the upper air. Heat shields held. No resistance met it. Clouds parted inside the craft. Alien troops felt pride. Training had prepared them for fire and chaos. Instead, there was quiet. The craft touched the ground. No alarms sounded. No attack came. The troops exited and secured the area. Sensors spread out. Soil samples were taken. Air tested. Everything looked normal. Then their tools began to miswrite. Simple measurements disagreed with each other. Distance tools showed longer paths than expected. Timestamps failed to match. Power cells drained faster than predicted. The troops reported confusion. In orbit, Tessel studied the data. She adjusted filters and corrected errors. Still, results stayed strange. It was not interference. It was design. She sent a warning to Arel. The humans are shaping the environment. Arel felt a cold, understanding grow. On the ground, one alien soldier stepped away from the group to inspect a rock formation. He vanished from sensors. No sound. No sign. He was simply gone. The rest froze. They called out. No answer. Another signal blinked out. Then another. Panic began to rise. In orbit, Vico watched icons disappear from the map. He felt the same clean silence that followed the lost probe. Arel ordered immediate recall. The landing craft powered up. Troops ran back. Only some returned. The craft lifted off under strain. As it rose, its systems failed in layers. Navigation lost lock. Engines stuttered. Then Earth responded. Not with weapons. With release. The pressure around the craft vanished. Systems returned to normal. The craft escaped into orbit. Arel watched it dock. The troops inside were shaken and fewer than before. They spoke of paths that bent and spaces that folded. Of shadows that were not dark, but empty. Of silence that followed them. The council argued again. Fear crept into their voices. Arel ended the debate. He ordered a wider withdrawal and full analysis. On Earth, Hannah treated no wounded because there were none. She waited with her teams, listening to quiet reports. The test had worked. No humans were harmed. Ho received confirmation and sent a single line across the network. Continue. Day Su shut down one layer and kept others ready. Earth did not reveal all at once. In orbit, the alien fleet pulled back slightly. Confusion spread. Confidence broke. Tessel worked through the data again. She reached a conclusion that troubled her. Humans were not using one defense. They were using many, stacked and hidden. And they chose when to allow escape. She sent this thought to Arel. Arel looked at Earth. The planet still looked peaceful. That was the most dangerous thing of all. The fleet held position. Uncertain now. Below, Earth waited again, and the question that haunted every alien mind grew heavier. Why had no one ever returned? They were beginning to learn. The alien fleet no longer felt calm. Ships drifted farther apart, leaving more empty space between them. Engines stayed warm, ready to move at any second. Commander Arel walked slowly through the command chamber, listening to reports. Every voice carried doubt now. The landing craft survivors rested in silence. Their minds replayed moments that had no clear shape. They could not explain what had taken their missing soldiers. They only knew that the planet below had allowed them to leave. Aurel understood. The meaning of that Earth had chosen mercy. It frightened him more than violence. Tessel continued her study. She compared human defenses to past encounters with other species. Most civilizations built strong walls or powerful weapons. Humans did not rely on one thing. They layered choices. They adapted during the fight, not before it. She sent another report. Humans observe first. Humans respond only when needed. The council finally fell quiet. Aurel ordered a new action, not an attack. He ordered observation from closer range. Small drones, passive only, would enter the upper atmosphere and collect data without touching the ground. On Earth, Ji-Ho watched the new movement. His eyes narrowed. The aliens were learning, slowly. He sent a message to adjust thresholds. Earth would allow this step 2 high above the planet. The drones entered the air. Wind moved around them. Clouds formed and broke. Data flowed freely. For a moment, nothing happened. Then patterns began to emerge. The drones recorded strange echoes. Old radio waves bounced back from places that should have been empty. Gravity readings shifted by small amounts near coastlines and deep forests. Heat patterns moved in clean lines that did not match nature. Tessel stared at the data. These were not weapons. They were tools. On the surface, humans moved without hurry. Military units stayed hidden. No uniforms filled the streets. No tanks rolled. Earth did not show teeth. Hana walked through an underground shelter and checked on people resting there. Some were workers. Some were families. All were calm. Training and drills had prepared them for waiting. She spoke softly and offered water. Fear was controlled. Back in orbit, Vico felt shame. He had once believed humans were careless. Now he felt watched by a quiet mind that measured every step. One drone stopped sending data, then another. The third returned, damaged but functional. Its memory held images that froze the chamber. Cities seen from above with shapes that shifted when watched directly. Oceans that hid moving shadows beneath calm waves. Deserts where the ground folded like cloth for a second, then returned to normal. Tess all whispered a truth. The planet itself is part of their defense. Aurel felt his decision solidify. He ordered all drones recalled. Earth allowed them to leave. On the ground, Daesu shut down several systems. Enough had been shown. Too much truth could invite desperate action. Ji-Ho reviewed the alien reactions. Fear was rising. Confusion had replaced confidence. This was the dangerous stage. He sent new instructions. Prepare containment. The alien council met in private. Some demanded full retreat. Others argued that retreat without victory would weaken their standing across the galaxy. Earth would become a rumor, then a challenge. Aurel listened, then spoke. No one returns from Earth, because Earth does not need to chase. Earth waits until the attacker breaks. Themselves. Silence followed. But pride is hard to kill. A faction of the council acted without full approval. A strike group armed their weapons and moved toward Earth orbit. Their plan was simple. Force reaction. Reveal defenses. Destroy them. Vico detected the move and warned. Aurel. It was already too late. The strike group fired. Energy crossed space toward Earth. For the first time, Earth responded openly. Not with a shield. With redirection. The energy bent. It curved away from cities, away from life, and vanished into controlled sinks hidden deep under the surface. No explosion came. The strike group stared in disbelief, and their own systems began to fail. Navigation twisted. Power drained unevenly. Commands arrived late or not at all. Ji-Ho watched the reaction. Window close. He sent the final command. Contain. Around the strike ships, space changed. Not visibly. Not violently. paths became longer. Signals slowed. Escape vectors folded inward. The ships tried to flee. They could not. Inside those ships, fear turned into despair. No enemy appeared. No weapons fired back. Only silence pressed in, one by one. The ships went dark. Arel ordered. The rest of the fleet to withdraw at maximum speed. Earth allowed it. Strike group never returned. No wreckage floated in space. No signals escaped. Galaxy would receive no story from them. On Earth, systems powered down again. Streets stayed calm. News channels still spoke of weather. Hana checked reports. No casualties. Su leaned back and closed his eyes. Chi-Ho watched the fleet pull away. He felt no pride. Only relief. Earth did not celebrate. Earth waited. Far from the planet. Commander Arel stared at the stars. He now understood. Earth was not a fortress. Earth was a lesson, and those who tried to force that lesson paid the price of silence. The alien fleet fled in broken order. Engines burned hard, leaving trails of heat and fear. Commander Arel watched the distance grow between his ships and Earth. He ordered no regroup near the planet. No last scan. No prideful turn back. Survival mattered now. Yet even as they ran, the sense of pressure did not fully leave. Space felt slow. Signals arrived late. Some ships reported brief loss of time, then normal flow again. Earth did not chase. Earth did not need to. Arel gathered his officers. Their faces were tight and quiet. He spoke with clear honesty. Earth will not be attacked again. Not by us. No one argued. Tessel presented her final analysis. Human defense was not a single wall or weapon. It was a system of choices. Humans guided threats into safe paths. They bent danger away from life. They allowed escape to teach fear and memory. They erased only what refused to learn. Arel accepted this truth. He ordered a message prepared for the wider galaxy. It would not describe weapons or numbers. It would describe outcome. Do not attack Earth. Silence follows. The message would travel far. On Earth, Chi-Ho watched the retreat continue. He did not relax until the last ship crossed the far boundary. Even then, he waited. Old habits stayed alive because they saved lives. He sent a new signal. Stand down to watch. Su powered down major layers and left quiet sentinels awake. Machines returned to sleep positions. Nothing dramatic marked the change. Earth slid back into normal balance. Hana walked through surface clinics and shelters. People returned home. Children asked small questions. Adults answered with calm voices. No stories of heroes filled the air. There were no heroes today. Only work done well. Yuna guided traffic back to usual routes. Space lanes reopened. Trade moved on. Above the oceans, defense frames sank deeper, hiding their heat. Above the land, satellites returned to forgotten orbits. Earth closed its eyes, but did not sleep. Far away, the alien fleet linked together. Repairs began. Wounded pride healed slowly. Some officers resigned. Others stared into space and stayed silent. Arel recorded his final report. He spoke plainly. Earth does not fight to conquer. Earth fights to end fights. They do not show strength unless forced. When forced, they remove choice. He ended the record. The council across alien space reacted with shock. Some dismissed the warning. Others listened. A few had lost scouts in the past. Now they understood why Earth gained a new name in hidden channels. The quiet wall. Weeks passed. Life on Earth continued, but the galaxy did not forget. Small alien groups watched from far distance. Probes stopped short. Traders adjusted paths. Stories spread of ships that vanished without battle. Some claimed Earth used ancient magic. Others said humans had all eyes beyond sight, that the truth was simpler. Humans planned. On Earth, Jiho met with others like him. They reviewed data and closed files. New improvements were planned. Weak points noted. Nothing was perfect. That knowledge mattered most. Daesu began upgrades using lessons learned. Simple fixes. Stronger links. Better balance between old and new. Hana updated emergency training. Calm saved lives. She reminded teams of that. Months later, a single alien signal reached Earth. It was slow and careful. It requested communication. Jiho studied it. He allowed a limited response. Arel appeared on the screen. Older now, tired, honest. He spoke without threats. We came to learn why no one returns. Now we know. We will not return again. Jiho listened. He replied with equal calm. Then do not come in anger. The signal ended. Earth returned to silence. But far away, other species watched this exchange and learned. Not all lessons require destruction. Some require patience, and some worlds defend themselves by making war unnecessary. Earth remained what it had always been, a home that refused to be taken, a planet that waited. And a warning written in absence rather than fire. Time passed, and the space around Earth stayed quiet. Silence was not new to humans. It was the state they preferred. Commander Arel kept his promise. His fleet never returned. Trade routes bent away from the blue planet, leaving a wide empty ring that grew larger with each passing cycle. Across the galaxy, stories changed tone. At first, they were warnings filled with fear. Later, they became lessons told with care. Earth was not cursed. Earth was not evil. Earth was patient. Those who listened survived. Those who tested the story did not. Small and proud Alliance ignored the warnings. They believed Arel had grown weak. They believed humans had fooled him with tricks and luck. Their leaders spoke of honor and proof. They sent a fast strike force, light and sharp, meant to pierce and return with glory. They never reached Earth orbit. Their ships crossed the outer boundary and vanished from all records. No signal ended. No explosion marked the loss. They were simply removed from paths that led anywhere. After that, the stories ended. Earth remained still. On the planet, seasons turned. Rain fell. Snow came and melted. Cities changed little. New buildings rose. Old ones were repaired. People lived. Jiho continued his work without fame. He reviewed patterns and made small adjustments. He believed the strongest defense was humility. When systems worked perfectly, he searched for where they could fail. Daesu trained new engineers. He taught them to value simple tools. He told them that beautiful machines broke easily, but honest ones endured. His students listened. Hana watched generations learn calm. She reminded them that fear spread faster than any enemy. She trained hands to steady others before steadying themselves. Yuna guided ships through safe lanes. She smiled when captains thanked her and forgot the reason. Those lanes existed. Earth did not build statues. Earth did not hold parades. Earth remembered quietly. Years later, a council of many species met far from human space. They shared data and silence. Earth was discussed last. One voice asked a simple question. Why does no one return Arel? Answered through a recorded message. His image was old now. His voice steady, because Earth does not seek victory. Earth seeks an end. Another voice asked. Can Earth be defeated? Arel paused before answering. Perhaps one day, but not by force. Not by pride. The council closed the discussion. Earth was marked, not as an enemy, as a boundary. Back on Earth, Ji-Ho stood outside at night. He looked at the stars without screens. He felt no triumph, only responsibility. The planet had become a quiet center, a place where conflict stopped moving forward. That carried weight. He sent one last update to the network.maintain.deep. Systems answered and settled far above. Silent guardians held their place far below. The planet turned. Somewhere beyond known space, a young species studied old records. They learned early. They chose paths of growth instead of conquest. Earth influenced them without ever speaking. That was the final lesson. Power did not need to shout. Strength did not need to chase. And survival belonged to those who learned when to stop. Earth remained what it had always been. A home, a shield, and a reason the galaxy learned to think. Twice. Those who attacked Earth did not return. Not because they were hunted, but because they were answered, and the answer was enough.